Hi everyone and welcome to Just Love. My name is Paula and I'm here with Judy. Hi Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
In one of our recent episodes, Judy, you were talking about how life may not go the way we want it this time around, but we always get more chances in other lives to achieve certain goals if we are meant to. You then go on to say that the most important thing in life is to gain spiritually rather than materially. Life seems to have a way of guiding us onto our spiritual path anyway if we follow our intuition. Judy, you have a story that you would like to share about a time when you were questioning a period in your life when you thought you may be just a bored housewife allowing her imagination to get away from her.
I sure did, Paula. When I got married at age 23, we moved out of town and onto acreage. I had 3 large dogs, Labradors, and my husband was keen on horses and wanted to get one, so we needed room. Life went along happily enough, but I felt a strong urge towards spiritual studies. I'd been educated in a Catholic convent and had been deeply drawn to religion through my teens. But there was something deeper, beyond 3D, that I was still looking for, that my convent education didn't supply. I'd already tried other religions on for size, but still didn't find the elusive something that I was searching for, so I returned to Catholicism. But my deep questions were not being answered. I'd had a few inexplicable experiences, including a really weird one with an owl, and another few that I later came to realise were ET contacts. I'd also had elusive memories of past lives from a very early age. But of course, none of the Christian religions recognise reincarnation, so these, at times, quite obsessive memories puzzled me. I also did not feel comfortable with the way God was portrayed as an old man up in the sky somewhere who was prone to jealousy and a need to be worshipped. I knew there was more, and I knew that I knew, somewhere deep inside me. For many years I wished I'd been born a male so that I could become a priest and preach a sermon on the controversial subject of how can you fear and love God at the same time? Fear and love are polar opposites, and even as a child this puzzled me and I felt it needed to be addressed. As I reached adulthood and got married, I had a nagging worry that I was just being a bored housewife clutching at mysterious straws. Was all of this just wishful thinking? A friend whose son was sick once commented to me that she wished I could put my hands on him, that she felt I'd be able to heal him. But I'd never heard of spiritual healing or Reiki, so this puzzled me, and yet it also rang familiar bells in my head. My husband worked with a really nice woman who lived close by on an acreage property with her husband and daughter. They were very well off financially and extremely well educated. She was an accountant and he taught English to migrants and was multilingual himself. His name was Jan, spelt with a G rather than the usual J, but pronounced like a J, so therefore rather unusual. As highly intelligent and well educated as he was, Jan was deeply into spiritual matters. He was definitely not a bored housewife. I felt comfortable talking to him about such things, and he was forever encouraging me to learn to meditate. He also linked me books on spiritual subjects. Meeting and getting to know him helped to take away my doubts and started me on the path to deeper studies. I tried to follow his advice and practiced meditating with some yoga nidra tapes that he passed on to me, but I was still having problems. I could visualise okay, but found sitting still to meditate rather difficult. From age 15 I'd worked as a professional dancer, so was very physically oriented. It was not long after this that I had the full-on contact experience with the Greys in 1983 when I recognised them as family. They were obviously observing the difficulties I was having with meditation and understood where I was coming from as a dancer. This is why they suggested for me to learn Tai Chi. I didn't even know back then what it was, so they explained to me that it was a bit like moving yoga and that it is sometimes referred to as moving meditation. They also told me that I needed to learn more about higher forms of energy, higher dimensional frequencies, in other words, that I'd need to move back to town to do this, and that someday I'd be teaching these things myself, including an alternative form of healing with my hands. All of this came to pass, just as they told me. Many years later, when I was connected with Helene Kay, whose family was having full-on ET contact, I got to know a very beautiful, tall, grey female teacher by the name of Garnibis, who very carefully explained how to spell her name and also how to pronounce it. I have to wonder if she has a connection with my old friend, and if maybe she was one of the Greys who visited me that afternoon back in 1983. The only one I recognised was the male teacher, Maris, who I'd been aware of for some time, so maybe Garnibis was there as well.
Wow. Thanks, Jude. What an amazing story. And yes, it wouldn't surprise me if other people tend to dismiss such higher than 3D experiences in the same way, believing them to be nothing but silly imagination. I know many parents do that when their children talk about their invisible friends, who are very likely members of their off-planet family trying to establish contact with them. So to read more about all of this, including Judy's story of getting to know her Grey family all those years ago, 40 years now, isn't it, Jude?
Oh, yes.
Her books are available through Amazon and can be ordered through links on the website listed below.
And I'd just like to say that whenever I read back through our book entitled The Zeta Message, I'm always bowled over by the way so many seeming coincidences that have occurred in my life have in reality been very carefully prearranged and are absolutely not coincidences. So, as you say, Paula, life does certainly have a way of guiding us onto our spiritual path, if we trust and follow our intuition rather than dismissing it as being silly. On that note, my books are Human by Day, Zeta by Night, followed by The Zeta Message, then Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History, and my two most recent books, both Kindle editions and both also available in German, An Interview with an Alien, Comments by an Undercover ET, and Cosmic Spirituality, blending religion and science in oneness from an off-planet perspective.
Thanks so much, Jude, and thanks everyone for listening. Please share, like and subscribe. Sending you all much love, and bye for now.